Hi everyone, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for the upcoming game against Manchester City down at the Etihad, where Eddie Howe's high-flying Mags, after smashed Aston Villa 5-1, head down, very short trip down to Manchester to take on arguably the best team in the world right now, which is frightening, to be brutally honest with you. But we're going to get stuck right into this in a minute. Talk about the team, how I think we're going to line up, talk about some team news, some injuries, and just basically talk about what our chances are going to be like, really, in terms of the game itself. So just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We're closing in on 5,000 subscribers. We're 4,940 something, I think we are now at the minute. So it's growing every single day. Loads of room for you guys. Smash that button. Come and join us. You won't regret it. Loads of quality Newcastle United chats and stats, certainly on transfer targets who also become signings. We're not ITK. We don't talk shite. Lewis Hall, the latest one, hopefully will be signed and delivered by the time you guys watch this. Maybe he'll even be at City watching his new team play. Maybe keep an eye on Dan Burn at left back, possibly see if he can do a better job. But yeah, smash that button. We've got loads of great content for you. Live show every Monday at 10 o'clock, as well as the odd rant and thought video coming out on all things football, as well as Newcastle United. So smash it, don't regret it. And let's get stuck in then. So how do I think we're going to line up against Manchester City? Pretty much the same as we did against Aston Villa, to be brutally honest with you. I can't say Eddie Howe changing a team that just battered somebody 5-1, but he is Eddie Howe. He can do what he wants to do. He can walk on water. He's a legend already. But I think you'll just go with the same lineup, to be honest with you. I think Anthony Gordon was superb against Aston Villa. I think he fully deserves to regain his place. Some of the press and likes of Sports Mole and stuff have got him dropping out for Barnes. If anybody's dropping out for Barnes, in my opinion, it'd be Miggy Almiron. Maybe Barnes will play on the right hand side, because Barnes looked sharp as hell when he come on. That goal he took really well. That assist as well was brilliant. He just looks such a dangerous player, and I'm so glad that we signed him, because he's the kind of player that can threaten teams like Manchester City as good as they are. He can find pockets of space. He can play on the last man. He's got the pace to get away from him, just as Gordon has as well. And we could be real dangerous for City in that attacking trio there. I mean, even if Miggy does play, his relentless energy and running, even tracking back as well, is a key asset. Alexander Isak was phenomenal in the first game of the season. Him and Erling Haaland both grabbing a brace in their first game of the Premier League season. Both spectacular goals, really, by the pair of them. I really do think Alexander Isak will run Haaland for the Golden Boot. I mean, Haaland is a freak, so he'll probably be about 10 goals ahead of Isak, but that's still running them as close as you can do. But it'd be really interesting to see how these two shape up as the season progresses. But obviously, City is the game, the shootout between the two, star strikers in the Premier League, so to speak. I think certainly since Harry Kane has gone, you could argue Nunes from Liverpool's in there. I'm still not convinced, to be real honest with you. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how Isak does against Manchester City and their side as well. The midfield trio was immense against Aston Villa, and we'll come on to team news for City now. A huge blow for Manchester City. Really looking at their team news, the biggest thing is Kevin De Bruyne missing. He's going to be missing for months with a knee injury, I think it is, or 4 months. It's a hamstring problem, I think it was, beg your pardon. That's a massive blow for them. But there's a Carlton Palmer came in. There's a Carlton Palmer, or Carl Palmer, I'm trying to remember his name now. Cole Palmer, I think it is. Sorry, Carlton Palmer. They've gone right back in time there. 90s represent. Yeah, Cole Palmer, I think it is. Superb player. He scored in the Super Cup win, I think, against Sevilla, which was just Wednesday there. So Pep's already unhappy that he's having to play on a Saturday. So this will be the excuse if Newcastle manage to pull off a result here. It might be difficult, but this will be Pep's excuse if he does get beat. But such is the quality of the squad of Manchester City that they're welcoming back the likes of John Stones, Ruben Diaz, who missed the first game. They've got the new signings of Joshua Garvidal. Bernardo Silva is going to shake off an illness. Apparently, he should still be in the squad. I think what we've got here, we've also got Alvarez and Rico Lewis. Iron returns to the side. So, I mean, the kind of possible 11 that City could go for, depending on the returns and everything else. Obviously, Ederson, Stones, Diaz, Garvidal, Rico Lewis, Rodri, Kovacic, Silva, Alvarez, Grealish, and Haaland. That is a good side, to be fair. Any side Man City put out really is a good side. And Haaland is the danger man for me. I think we've got to watch out for him. He's such a good player. I remember going to the fixture at St James's Park last season, the 3-3, when we were 3-1 up, and he was absolutely superb in that game. But Botman was amazing. He kept such a good eye on him, and he only let him slip for half a second, and he got his goal. And Botman's going to have to be on his game again. they're down at the Etihad there. As will Fabian Shaw, Trips and Byrne in there at left back, that steady back forward with Nick Pope in goal, who again will have to be at his best as well to try and get anything out of this game. If you're going to get a result against City, you've got to shut them out. You really have to defend for your life, really, because they're just relentless in their attack. And I'm really excited to see how we do against them. So I think this is a big litmus test, I think, for any side against Manchester City, because they are the best, and you want to see how you shape up. And last season we were brilliant against them, but we failed in the game. We didn't have that player to just drop a bit and stop De Bruyne, find those pockets of space. There'll be no De Bruyne this time around, so maybe that could give us the edge in that midfield. Because make no mistake about it, Joe Linton, Tonali, and Bruno are very, very good midfielders. So I think this will lend itself to a really good contest down at the Etihad on Saturday night. Now, if you want to talk about where the game will be won and lost, I suppose. I mean, I think that midfield is key. It's always key. It's the most key area on the park, really. But I think without De Bruyne in there, without his creativity, City will have to play a slightly different way. I mean, they've got Kovacic in there who can get his foot in the ball and try and make things happen, but he's not a De Bruyne. I think with Silva and Grealish, maybe pulling out wide and trying to take the fullbacks, and that could be a dangerous area. Maybe Byrne could be targeted again, but that might not be the case moving forward if Lewis Hall can sign that dotted line maybe in the coming next few days, and maybe next time we're playing against a team like City with that pace out wide and in behind, they're going to be up against the fullback who's lightning quick, and they won't get round him for speed. So, but Dan Burn has done a great job in that position. I'm not going to knock him, and he'll definitely start tomorrow. There's no doubt about that, in my opinion. But yeah, so getting stuck into some of the statistics and the previous stats about the game, it doesn't look good for us down at City's ground, to be honest with you. We haven't won there since it was fucking Main Road. So these are the last 10 meetings at the Etihad. Newcastle had 1 win, and City had 9. As you can see, their only 1 win came in that League Cup when Rolando Aarons, remember him? Moussa Sissoko scored a goal. We have been battered at times at the Etihad by a much superior side. So the odds aren't really in our favour. Man City have won 29 of the 46 Premier League games between the two sides. They've scored 97 goals to Newcastle's 43. So there's goals in this game. But we do defend a lot better now. So hopefully we'll be able to shore it up at the back. And if we do lose the game, we won't get a pasting off Manchester City. And following our 5-1 win against Villa, we are looking to win both of our opening 2 Premier League games since 1997, 1998. Beautiful John Beresford there. What a top bloke he is. I've been a few talkings with him. But that shows you how shit we've been for so long, that we haven't been able to win our first opening 2 Premier League fixtures for that length of time. Erling Haaland, again, the monster, the beast, the Nordic meat shield, as PK loves to say, from Troy Hawk, that class comedian who would greet his guild. Erling Haaland has scored 38 goals in 36 Premier League appearances. Wow. And he netted twice, obviously, in that opening day fixture. But so did Alexander Isak. So, again, we have a danger man as well. So I'm not going to try to put too much flavour on Haaland there, because I think Isak is just as much of a worry for City as Haaland is for us. And since the start of last season, Callum Wilson scored more Premier League goals as a sub than any other player, 5 goals. Now, whether Callum likes it or not, I think his position in the side now is an impact player, as a sub. I think when he comes off the bench, he's got that point to prove. He's got that moody face on. I think Di mentioned it in our chat last week, but he goes sniffing for goals, and he finds space, and the lad can finish. So I actually think as an impact sub, I think he's much better in that capacity than he is from starting games now. I just think Isak is so electric and so brilliant at the start of a game, and as the game goes on, he tires a little bit towards the end of the first half, or second half, sorry, beg your pardon, and then that's where Wilson can come on and shine a little bit. So again, just backing up what we said, Newcastle have never won at the Etihad in the 18 Premier League games, and our last away win was Main Road in the year 2000 when Alan Shearer scored a header and we won 1-0. That's a Premier League record for games at a single venue without winning. So Eddie Howe is all about breaking records and changing perceptions of Newcastle United. And this is a fixture that I'm sure Eddie Howe will want to turn it into our favour. But what do I think the score is going to be? Oof, I tell you what, it's a dangerous one to call. I do think City might be a little bit fatigued after having to play on Wednesday night against Sevilla. They've got such a good squad. They could change things around and bring in, a more than capable team to get a result. But I think the absence of De Bruyne, I think, is a big miss for them. And I just think our midfield is so good. I'm not just saying that after one game. I think we will press Manchester City in that midfield to win the ball back. We will have technicians on the ball. We'll have dangerous players that can make things happen in the shape of Bruno, Tonali, obviously trips as well. And I don't think the City are going to have this game all their own way. It's a real tricky one. I mean, my heart would say we can get a draw out of this. We can get a 1-1 draw. But my head probably says the City will beat us maybe 2-1. But it will be a tight game. I don't think we'll get steamrolled at all by City. I think we'll put up a real good account of ourselves, and I think it'll be testament to how far we progressed as a side. But let us know in the comments below what you think. You think about the team, you think about the results, you think we're going to win the game. Would you change that lineup? Who would you take out? Who would you put in as well? We always like to hear from you guys. As I mentioned at the start, smash a subscribe, come and join us. We're nearly at 5,000 subscribers. Once we get there, we will do the Alan Shearer prize draw video. You can smash a comment in and try and win that great bit of football memorabilia, as he was the last man who scored at Main Road. He gets mentioned in every single conversation as Alan Shearer, and rightly so, because he's a club legend. But yeah, smash that button, guys. Come and join us. We'd love to have you on board. Roll on the Etihad on Saturday. Newcastle don't fear anybody anymore, even arguably the best team on the planet. So bring them on. Pep, we're ready for you. Come here, the lads. We'll catch you later. Cheers. Bye.